we're an agricultural sprayer manufacturer. So we make sprayers, liquid handling trailers, mixing stations, and all sorts of accessories required for crops grown here in California. I guess I've always had a strong interest in developing things. I started building with Legos when I was a kid and really loved it. That got up into welding on bicycles and having fun. So when I was able to start taking some of these hobbies and apply them towards a real skill set, that's when I decided I really wanted to go into manufacturing.
Actually getting to see your ideas come to life, seeing it from start to finish, getting an idea about something that you want to make that's necessary or handy, and being able to go out and actually run a machine and make that thing develop into an actual real part you can hold.
So originally started at Chico High School in a ROP engineering program, which helped get me involved with using programs like SolidWorks to design products and equipment that we would be building. The internship brought me here, and I was able to work with our engineers to learn the process and how to build things.
A fast-paced work ethic, and there's no downtime. You're constantly being busy. You're producing equipment for agricultural farmers that need it to be able to produce all the food that goes along for the whole world. I wanted to become an architect originally, and then got into automotive, and then production became a part of it. It's more interesting being able to get involved in learning every aspect of the business that comes out. There's so many things that come along with it.
My degree is in studio arts. I got that over at Chico State. It was pretty helpful. I was able to get my hands in welding shop, metal casting, foundry, so it was a good exposure for what I'd be doing here.
I actually went to school for engineering, but while I was in school, I actually got to do quite a lot of the manufacturing side for projects, and I was really interested more in the hands-on aspect of it. And so I wanted to work for a place that was going to give me the opportunity to do that. No, I did not. It wasn't until I was an adult that I decided that manufacturing was what I wanted to do. I would say that the best way is just to really show some initiative and want to do it. If you have the desire to, there's a lot of places that are willing to train you. If you're willing to move your way up, start from scratch.
If I was a young person today, I think I would be taking shop classes, working on a car or a bicycle, and really getting into building things and working with my hands, trying to understand and read instructions. So, maybe jump in there and be the one that builds those IKEA models or shelves.
Honestly, I learned how to weld and fabricate in-house within a year. And cutting, I have 14 trades under my belt. I'll be turning 31 in October. So I've had a bit of time to be able to focus on a bunch. Just moved around and tried everything. Join, because you'll never get the full aspect of something until you try it. You gotta try it once before you knock it, right? So I would say give it a shot, look involved, pay attention. There's multiple aspects of the business. You have office work, you have the hand-to-hand, where you're getting busy lifting iron or whatever it may be, painting.
just working at PBM, I know there's opportunities in the area because we're always looking for good qualified candidates. So, you know, it might not be your main first interest, but there's a lot of other industries here that, you know, you might be able to apply your skills to and find that you would, you know, really excel in those fields. So I'd say look around at really what everything at everything the North State has to offer, and because there's a lot of industry that you might not first think is there.
Oh, well, I was one of the people who didn't think that Chico had, or Butte County had, a lot of opportunities, but I found that when I was looking for a job that the amount of manufacturing that's in this area is actually far exceeds what the average person thinks, because you don't find yourself in the industrial parts of town very often when you're doing your grocery shopping or going out to dinner. That's just not where you end up. So I'd say if you Googled manufacturing for Butte County, you would probably see a lot more businesses than you would have ever anticipated.
Like you guys are doing, you have the opportunity to look on the internet. Everything's on the internet, whether it may be true or not. You got to do a little bit of research, but there's every aspect. If you go to any of the produce places, they order and they get things built from us or other companies around here that allows you to get involved with it. So you just have to ask the questions and get involved in it.
And I'd say that's something that we can definitely do here at PBM. So for instance, we've had somebody come in that was, you know, really just working on the saw. So he'd be cutting different sticks of material. He expressed some interest in the laser. So then we had him starting to program and operate the laser. And after, you know, working with that for a while, started looking more into the drafting. So, you know, we started having him work with some of our more senior draftsmen and learn how to design the products in SolidWorks. So, you know, if you express the interest and, you know, show some effort, we'll definitely, you know, make it worth your while and try to get you learning more things in the industry so you can progress your career.
Getting a job in assembly kind of gives you an idea about the different things that you can do. So if you could get a job working in assembly, I highly recommend taking some sort of trade program for welding or machining or fabrication in general, because you'll get to touch a lot of different areas and kind of see which things appeal to you and what don't. And then you can kind of work your way through it from there. But if you're starting from nothing, you don't really have any idea. So I would say try things. Join clubs, that's a good way to do it. That's what I did, so yeah. So this is our C&C mill. This is a 4-axis mill, which means that it has your standard X and Y axis of the table that moves around, and then the spindle is our Z axis, that's the third one. And then we also have a rotary table in here, which is the 4th axis that allows us to turn parts inside the mill, so we can do symmetrical about a longitudinal axis as well. So this machine has a really great controller, so when we do our programming for really simple things, we use built-in functions to do it. I actually have a little program here set up where it gives you a graphical detail of what you're going to do, and you just set your coordinates up according to what you want to machine, and then you just run this cycle. So that's for simple things, but for more complicated things that would involve, say, the 4th axis or really detailed parts, I have CAM software. We use Fusion 360 CAM software, and those programs look considerably different They actually come in with a lot of lines of G code. So kind of, as this is running, it kind of looks like the matrix screen with everything sort of falling, and it doesn't really look like it should be doing anything, but each one of these little lines is a little piece of code that the mill actually uses to interpret where it is right now and where it's supposed to be going and how fast to get there. So those are the two different kinds of programs we can do. Built-in cycles for simple things, CAM software for more complicated things. We use a lot of different kinds of tools. This particular machine has a 24-tool changer, which is a carousel that sits up in the top of the machine and rotates around, pulls its tools according to the program that you've written, which is really nice because you can load everything up in the beginning and not have to touch another tool till the end of your programming. You change programs.